Welcome to Nutrition Basics. My name is Samantha Haswell, and I'm the Integrative Health Dietitian at Massey Cancer Center. With the upcoming new year, many of us have started to think about eating healthier as part of our New Year's resolutions. Today, we will discuss healthy eating on a budget to help you make healthier decisions without breaking the bank. First things first is you're going to want to make a list. Having a list prevents you from buying things you don't need, which can lead to food waste in the long run. According to a study in 2020 by the American Journal of Agricultural Economics, they found that the average U.S. family wastes 31.9% of the food they buy, which can be about $740 per person. Every time you waste food, you waste money, so try to avoid letting food spoil. By keeping a list, you make sure you only buy what you need. Once you've made your lists for the week, make sure you write down the ingredients you'll need for each meal and snack and the quantities you'll need to make them. Check which ingredients you already have at home and how much of each ingredient you have. Only purchase those essential items and try to avoid buying random things you don't need. And allow for reasonable replacements. If you notice that strawberries are pretty pricey, but then blueberries are on sale, if you can switch them out in the recipe, you may save some money doing so. I'm sure most of you have heard this before, but you can save money by eating in season. Seasonal produce tends to cost less than out-of-season produce, so it'd be beneficial to take a look at what produce is in season before you shop. USDA has a great list of seasonal produce that can be printed from their website. All you need to do to find it is go into Google and type in USDA Seasonal Produce Guide, and it'll usually be the first link you see. A prime example of foods that are in season right now are asparagus, apricots, peas, and rhubarb. Keep in mind that eating them fresh, frozen, or canned can still be a great way to get those phytonutrients. And on this next slide, you can see an example of that USDA produce guide. Looking at the winter month, you can see things like apples, avocados, and winter squash are available, as well as many others to help you save money by using the seasonal produce. And then this next slide here shows you what's available for spring and summer. When choosing fruits and vegetables, keep in mind that you can embrace all forms. When you're purchasing fresh fruits and vegetables, try to stay seasonal, but also try to buy the whole fruits and vegetables rather than the pre-cut. While pre-cut fruits and veggies are convenient, they also come with a big upcharge for the labor costs associated by the store. Frozen fruits and vegetables can still give you plenty of nutrients, just like the fresh fruits and vegetables, but can be more helpful if you have a busy schedule and you may end up with spoiled items. Keeping things frozen and canned is a great way to have things on hand that won't go bad before you can use them. While canned items have a long shelf life, something to keep in mind is that sometimes they can be high in salt or sodium. Try to choose no salt added or low sodium items if you do purchase canned items. You can also reduce the sodium in a canned item by rinsing it with cold water in a colander. When you're buying fruits packed in water and juice rather than syrup, you can save some of that added sugar as well. And when you're choosing canned fish, try to pick the ones that are packed in water so you don't have that extra oil adding calories or oil that you don't need. Another great way to save money is by choosing plant proteins. While animal proteins can still be a healthy part of your diet, plant proteins are not only full of phytonutrients that help fight cancer, but also fiber that's great for colon health. Choosing plant proteins can save you money while also helping you work towards the American Institute of Cancer Research New American Plate goal of at least 2/3 plant-based on your plate. Those guidelines are a great recommendation for cancer prevention and survivorship. And if you look at the image here, you can see that black beans are only about 5 cents an ounce, while things that are a little more labor-intensive like tempeh can be about 54 cents an ounce, which is still usually much cheaper than the animal proteins. Try to have some pantry staples. Pantry staples are another great way to save money. When you purchase pantry staples in small amounts rather than bulk amounts, you tend to spend more because they tend to upcharge. Buy in bulk can help you save money and help you have items readily available when you want to cook something. Typical pantry staples can be things like herbs and spices, vinegars, honey and sugar, flour, rice, pasta, and dry beans. Make sure you're keeping track of your dates so you don't use spoiled items, but these can often last months and sometimes even years depending on the item. Another great way to save money is considering gardening. Planting using your own seeds to make your own fruits, vegetables, and herbs can save you money and brighten up your yard a little bit, but you don't just need a large yard to do so. Seeds cost very little, and there are even some plants that can grow on the windowsill. Things like basil, cilantro, rosemary, thyme, sage, oregano, parsley, and chives are great windowsill plants. But make sure you try to choose a south-facing window so these plants survive pretty well. And this one may seem obvious, but cooking from scratch can obviously save you money. There's usually labor costs associated with pre-cut, pre-seasoned, or pre-made items at the grocery store. So if you can buy all the whole food items and do the washing and cutting yourself, it may not save you time, but it will usually save you a significant cost over time. All right, now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of checking prices at the grocery store. Always make sure you're checking the cost on similar items. Often, an item with smaller quantities may look cheaper, but if you look closer at the unit price, you may find you're paying more per ounce or gram than if you bought the other larger version. For example, on the right, I have Greek yogurt. If you look at the red circled unit price, you can see that the Publix plain Greek yogurt is significantly cheaper than the Fage or Chobani blend yogurt. This can save you money in the long run so you don't spend a lot on other items. Also keep in mind that individual things like yogurts that are in small containers may be more expensive than if you bought the bigger gallon container or things like that. You can buy a lot of items in bulk to save that money, and it's a good idea to do with things, especially if they're non-perishable, like grains, nuts, seeds, flour, seeds, and oils, and some sauces that may last a long time. Choose generic. Often generic brands and store brands are way less expensive and offer similar, if not identical, nutritional benefits. That goes for nutrition supplements as well. If you have a family member or if you yourself are drinking things like Ensure Plus, you may notice that there's Nutritional Shake Plus that's much cheaper. Looking at the example to the right, you can see that the store brand cornflakes are only $3.59, while the Kellogg's cornflakes are about $5.99 per box. Another way to save money is taking into account those manager specials or coupons at your store. Check your local ads or ask your grocery store for their daily specials. And look at the markdown stickers like the ones to the side. As you can see here, they're having a big deal on this picture for potatoes and mangoes. And if you like those foods, that can end up saving you more money than just buying in season as well. In addition to all those different manager specials and buying in bulk and doing things seasonal, you could also try using money-saving apps. The apps I have listed here are all money-saving apps that can be used to purchase groceries. Ibotta is a way of couponing without cutting out the coupons yourself by using the app to get free cashback rewards by uploading your receipt. Checkout 51 works similarly by allowing you to upload your receipt after grocery shopping and getting cash back if there were offers associated with your items. And Fetch Rewards gives you points for uploading your receipts to redeem gift cards. Meanwhile, the Flip app and the coupons.com app are both very similar in that they'll show you digital coupons you can use while you're shopping, so you don't have to print out the coupons yourself. This way, you can get the best deals at your local grocery store. I'm just going to give you guys a second to check this out in case you want to take a picture so you have an idea of those awards apps to use at home. Another thing to keep in mind that many people are not aware of is that there is now a plastic bag tax in Virginia. Not every city or county is imposing this tax, but they've been given permission to do a 5-cent bag tax on each disposable bag used. So if you notice you're getting a little 5-cent upcharge for every plastic bag, you may want to make sure you start bringing reusable bags to your local grocery store. It's a great way to save money, but it's also a great way to kind of help the earth and be a little more friendly to the earth. This is an example of some references here, just so you guys know where we got our information from. And then here are some other resources. If you're interested in recipes or just general nutrition knowledge, you can check out our MasseyIntegrativeHealth.org website. Or if you're looking for some recipes or some research on cancer, you can go to AmericanCancerResearch.org at AICR.org. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me directly at samantha.haswell@vcuhealth.org. I hope you found this helpful, and please let us know if you have any questions in the future.